There is something insanely addictive about sim racing. You strap in and suddenly you're chasing tens like your life depends on it. The focus, the adrenaline, the precision. It's brutal, but that's exactly what makes it so good. This is my story about my first few days as an iRacing beginner. I've played a lot of games over the years, shooters, open world, strategy. They were fun, but I never really stuck with one. They just felt too easy to figure out, like they were missing depth. Then came Project Cars 2. My dad bought it along with a Trustmaster T300. It was my first proper racing sim experience. The force feedback, the immersion, it was different, but still I didn't fully commit. That changed with Gran Turismo 7, also known as GT7. Even though I was playing on a controller, the game gave me structure, daily races and a reason to improve. I made it into the top 2.5% and spent over 200 hours in it. But eventually I wanted more realism and to use a wheel again. So I switched to PC and got Assetto Corsa Competizione, also known as ACC. Around that time, my dad upgraded to a Moza R60 with load cell pedals. He barely raced, but I got to use the setup, and yeah, maybe a bit overkill for a beginner, but it worked. ACC was incredible, but hard to master, especially the setups. There's always something to tweak. The biggest downside? Online races were always the same. Spa or Monza. After 70 hours of playing, I wanted something better. That's when I found iRacing. Ranked racing, clean lobbies, real competition. I could finally just hop in a race with people around my skill level and it clicked. I knew right away this is the sim I was going to commit to. So I had finally done it. After months of watching races, comparing sims and hesitating, I bought an iRacing subscription. 3 months, enough time I figured, to see if this world was for me. And right from the start I was pleasantly surprised. The user interface, while a bit overwhelming at first, actually grew on me quickly. It wasn't just a place to start races, it showed me safety rating, iRating progression, and even gave me a summary of my recent races. But what I liked most was how it introduced me to the entire world of iRacing. All the different series, all the disciplines, it felt more like a platform than just a sim. I could immediately tell this was something different. But what truly separated iRacing from everything I'd done before was the braking. Coming from games like ACC and GT7, where you rely a lot on ABS and you don't always need to throw brake, iRacing just slapped me in the face, hard. I quickly realized that in iRacing, if you hit the brakes like you do in ACC, you're just scrubbing speed and sliding wide. You don't want to get into ABS here, you want to stay out of it. True braking is everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything. Without it, you're just slow. So there I was, doing my first few practice laps in the Mazda MX-5, and it was chaos. The car kept wanting to oversteer, I couldn't get it to balance and I didn't understand why. Frustrated, I shut off my PC and went to bed. But the next morning something clicked. I remembered GT7, how you brake off the pedals slowly over time to keep the car settled. I tried the same in iRacing, braked later, trailed off slower, and suddenly I wasn't finding the car anymore, I was driving it. Chaos became rhythm. The rhythm became flow, and before I knew it, the lap times started tumbling down. Faster and faster with every lap. That feeling when everything just clicks is why I race. After getting used to the car in practice, it was finally time to dive into my first real race. In iRacing, you begin as a rookie. That means no iRating yet, but you do have a safety rating. That SR determines how fast you can move up in the license class, from rookie to D class and beyond. And to increase that rating, you need to race clean. Simple in theory, but in practice, not so much. The process starts with registering for an upcoming race. Once you're in, you get dropped into a practice lobby where you can warm up and wait for the session to begin. Then it's qualifying, usually 8 minutes long with a cap of 2 flying laps, and finally the race itself. Mine was 12 minutes long, but I swear it felt like 20 minutes with all the adrenaline. My first race wasn't anything wild. I qualified in 3rd and despite a solid start, a small mistake in lap 2 cost me a podium. I dropped to 4th, no crashes, no chaos, just clean racing and a few nerves. But even with the small disappointment, I was hooked. Race 2 felt more serious. I was dialed in, qualified in P2, this time no spins, no errors, just focus. I stayed consistent, took the lead midway through and held on for the win. That feeling, winning your first race in iRacing, unreal. It wasn't just about being faster, it was about staying calm, making the right moves and managing pressure. But the 3rd race, that one I'll remember for a while. Qualified P2 again. Lights out. I went side by side into turn 1, long braking zone, felt perfect and then disaster. The rear snapped mid-corner and I was off into the grass. I saw 10 positions fly by in seconds, but I didn't rage quit. I refocused, clean laps, no mistakes, one by one. I reeled it back in, they were fighting hard up front, too hard, mistakes were made, and lap by lap I climbed back. By the final lap I was in 3rd, a comeback I didn't expect, but one that felt even better than a win. Those first races taught me a lot, not just about driving but about patience, mindset and how the deep competition runs in this sim. After just a few races, things started to click. I wasn't just holding on anymore, I was driving, really driving. In my rookie days, I focused only on the MX-5 Cup and the Toyota GR86. Two lightweight, low-power cars that teach you a lot without overwhelming. They might not have a crazy horsepower or aerodynamic grip, but that's the beauty of it. No excuses, just you, the tires and the track. Those cars taught me more about racing than any tutorial ever could. Braking, weight transfer, managing tire temps, it all mattered, especially in the MX-5, where every ounce of momentum counts. It punishes bad technique but rewards precision. In the GR86, that car became my favorite almost instantly. It had just the right balance and playfulness and predictability. It leaned slightly towards oversteer, which honestly reminded me a lot of how GT7 felt in most cars. At the same time, I began noticing something else. How people race in iRacing. Coming from GT7, I had a habit of being overly cautious around others, because there everyone drives like it's a destruction derby. But iRacing was different. People respected the space. Sure, you still find the occasional maniac or dive bomber, but overall, the quality of racing was just better, cleaner, more intentional. So, when I finally earned my D-Class license, it didn't just feel like a system upgrade, it felt like I'd leveled up as a driver. Not just faster, but smarter. More controlled, more in tune with what the car needed from me and what I needed from it. With my D license unlocked, it was time to push harder. I stuck with the GR86 and started chasing wins, and the progress came fast. Before jumping into races, I always took time to learn the track. Not just memorize it, but feel it. Where the grip builds, where the bumps are, where to position the car for rotation. The moment I stopped trying to fight the track and started working with it, everything got easier. My I rating hovered around 1400 now, and I had already picked up 2 wins with an MX-5. I was hungry for more. In one of my first GR86 races, I crushed qualifying, putting down laps half a second faster than P2. But the real challenge came at the start. Turn 1, he dove up the inside, took the lead. I didn't panic, I stuck to him for the entire lap. We finally retook the lead on the back straight with a clean move on the inside. From there, I focused on consistency. No mistakes, no pushing too hard, just hitting my marks lap after lap. And it paid off. I crossed the line in P1. Of course, not every race went smooth. In another race I started P13 and fought my way to P6. No podium, but still satisfying. And just a few hours later I scored 2 more wins. So in my first 3 days on iRacing I walked away with 5 total wins. 2 in the Mazda and 3 in GR86. I wasn't lucky, it was the habits I brought over from the other sims. braking precision from GT7, tire management from ACC, and a racing mindset sharpened by experience. iRacing made me faster, but more than that, it made me sharper, more thoughtful, and more disciplined. So, what's next? Right now I'm focusing on sharpening my skills in the M2 CS Racing series. It's another car included in the base package, and honestly it's a blast to drive. Heavier than the GR86, more power and a bit more aggressive on the brakes. It's a new challenge, and that's exactly what I was looking for. But I'm already dreaming bigger. I want to work my way up to the Porsche Cup series. Not just because I love Porsches as a brand, but because those cars are a real test of skill. No assist, rear engine balance, they punish mistakes and reward commitment. That's the kind of pressure I want. And beyond that, GT3 racing, the holy grail of sim racing. Multi-class events, complex strategies, endurance, teamwork, the whole thing. But to get there, I'll need more than just seat time. I'll need to invest both in new cars and new tracks. That's the reality of iRacing. It's not cheap, but it's worth it if you're serious. So, for now I'm holding off, saving up and focusing on building the foundations. Every race I do now is another step forward, another skill sharpened, another piece of the puzzle locked into place. So, that's it, my story as a brand new iRacer. Just 3 days in and I've already learned more than I expected. I've made mistakes, had close battles, won races, and most importantly, learned what real sim racing feels like. iRacing pushed me harder than ACC or GT7 ever did. Not because it's more difficult, but because it demands more discipline. It rewards focus, precision, and patience. It's a game that doesn't care how fast you think you are, it only cares what you can prove on track. And honestly, I love that. If you're thinking about trying iRacing, now's the time. If you want to support me while you do it, I'd really appreciate it if you'd use my affiliate link to get your subscription. If you enjoyed this story, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. I've got more content coming soon, and if you got any tips, feedbacks, or just want to say hi, drop a comment below. I'll read them all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the grid.